Good morning, and it is actually morning today. Up early, uh, July 4th, episode 185 on the calendar. I want to get this video out to you before we get going with the family activities today. Once again, today's episode 185, and it is early in the morning. Nevertheless, I will tell you good afternoon, good evening, depending on what time of day this video reaches your ears. July 4th, 2023. New season, new month. New season, new month. Moving right along. Seventh month of the year. And today's subject matter is confidence, or to be confident. There's this idea that I see it all the time, everywhere I go, whether it be in ministry, whether it be in business, whether it be in sports. There's this idea that you should fake it to make it. And when I first heard this concept, I was a young man. When I mean young man, I was a young man, half my age. And I was listening to a group of business men. And in the business class that I was in, some of them were talking about faking it until you actually make it. And it sounds good, of course. It sounds good, and you could fool a lot of people because a lot of people don't know what the real thing actually looks like. Most people don't really understand what a millionaire looks like. Most people don't really understand what a leader or leadership is or looks like. Most people don't understand what a husband is. Most people don't understand how to parent. And so you can fake it to make it, unfortunately, in this time and age, because the real thing has been lost. What is a real mother? Who is a real mother? What's a actual real marriage? How does a marriage actually function? And so looking back 25 plus years ago, it is true. You can fake it to make it. The problem is you never really make it because you're a fake. And then what happens is the fake thing actually becomes the so-called real thing. And then you wonder why when you actually do come up against somebody who's actually a millionaire, or somebody who's actually a father, or somebody who's actually a husband, or somebody who's actually a wife, somebody who's actually a parent, somebody who's actually a pastor, somebody who's actually in the ministry, not faking ministry, then you have this interesting energy because you are actually bumping up against the real thing. I'm pausing. I want you to think about what I'm saying. Because a lot of us are fooled into following poor advice, following poor ideology, and when we get to a certain place in life, we think that we have actually arrived. And the reality of it is you're not there because you were never on or in the right path. Well, Brother Earl, why are you talking about confidence and then you led with faking it to make it? Because here's the thing about it. As someone who was trying to become the best version of you, confidence is the key. You can develop confidence in your appearance. You can develop confidence in your behavior, and you can develop confidence in how you communicate with people. Therefore, you don't have to fake it to make it. You actually are the real thing. You don't just look like the real thing. Well, you're not just acting like the real thing because you have the proper behaviors for the real thing. And you're not just talking like the real thing. You are actually speaking the language of a leader, of a pastor, of a husband, of a parent, of a business owner. What's the short form? Here's the short form. You got to look confident. You got to act confident. You got to speak confident. That's the short form. What's the actual form? Thank you for asking. You have to find out what is the best appearance in your industry. Instead of just looking like something, how about you become the thing and actually look like, develop the appearance? For example, when I was in corporate America, not in corporate America as an employee, I'm in corporate America now as a business owner. When I was in corporate America as an employee, I looked a certain way every day, all day, year after year. I made sure I had the correct pants. I made sure I had the correct shoes. I had made sure I had the correct shirt. I made sure I had the correct items. So if somebody was to look at me, they could quickly surmise that this man is a corporate man because I had a corporate appearance. Once again, we're talking about developing confidence. Well, what about your behaviors, Earl? Same thing. Okay. What about your behaviors, aka acting confident? No, I developed what is the correct behavior of a corporate man. What are some of the behaviors in your industry? What are some of the behaviors in ministry? What are some of the behaviors in pastoring? It's not just about acting because there's people who professionally act. You want to become the actual thing. So, what are the behaviors that are in your industry? And this is why we talk about development, because when you develop something, you have to do the due diligence and learn what are the successful behaviors in your industry, whatever they may be. And here's the big one, because you know what? A lot of people blow it once they open their mouth. I'm going to say it again. A lot of people blow it once they open their mouth. What do they always say? What's one of the phrase that people say? You know what? You can fool a lot of people until you open your mouth. And that's the reason for that. Because you know what? Because you can learn what to look like. You can learn how to put the right clothes on. You can learn how to stand in a room full of men and women. Your posture. And these are all things that successful individuals study and then implement to become the best version of themselves. And yes, I said become the best version of the selves or yourself and myself. And what's the last one? You communicate in a confident way, meaning you develop the communication skills. What's the language of your industry? What's the language? I'm going to say it again. What's the language of your industry? I'm not talking about just throwing words out here or there. I'm talking about how do people in your industry communicate? And this is what's called, once again, development. Why? You develop the proper appearance, you develop the proper behaviors, you develop the proper communication. So you're not simply acting confident, you become confident because you know what the real thing is, and that's what you are becoming. Okay? The real thing, the truthful thing. Develop your appearance, develop your behavior, develop your communication, aka look confident. Can we act confident? And do we speak confident? Not in a acting, not in a fake it to make it way, because you understand what a industry titan is, because you have developed the proper look, you have developed the proper behavior, you have developed the proper communication. So you are not faking it. You become the real thing. God bless you. God keep you. July 4th, episode 185. Confidence. Confidence to become successful. God bless you. God keep you. Peace.